What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark, back at MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about Like Water for Chocolate. It's new, it's on Max, it has audio description, it's HBO Latino, and it has English audio description. So, surprise. I don't know what HBO Latino is trying to do necessarily, but it feels like they're going after brands. Like we had a City of God TV series, and now we have a Like Water for Chocolate TV series, and it kind of feels like we're like hop, skip, and jump away from maybe like a Zorro TV series at this point. But they're going for like sort of like Spanish brands instead of trying to create something out of thin air. They're just like adaptations. I have not seen the movie version of Like Water for Chocolate. I'm assuming this is probably more faithful to the book, which gives it sort of a depth and allows it to go further than like the 2 hour runtime of a movie. Um, I wasn't a huge fan of City of God. Fight rages on, coming off of such an iconic movie, a sequel we didn't really need. I just didn't like the characters and the way that it was developed and everything, so I didn't go past the first episode. This is interesting because it is kind of what I've always thought Like Water for Chocolate was, which was has a little bit of sex, sort of in there, so sort of centric. Um, it's about this romance. It kind of ends on an interesting cliff note, like sort of like a little like, oh, well, what's going to happen in the next episode? So you do kind of feel like you want to be pulled into the next episode. There's sort of a central character who falls in love, but there's this, drama between his parents and her parents, and this sort of long drawn out thing. And will they or won't they, or will anybody let them? Um, which has sort of an interesting ending to it in the pilot. And instead of sneaking off to see people and they want to be honest. And I always love things that deal with like dowries and offering people things. Like, here are my cows. Can our children marry now? It's like it's I always found it to just be like really interesting. Be like, I don't know. And she doesn't look very impressive, but that cow, that's something back there. Like I love that that's like the game changer. Um, I thought the audio description was really good, and the reason why I even bothered to review this at all is because I actually liked the dubcast here. I think they're actually doing fairly good work, and it doesn't feel aggressively like some shows do, where they have reached out and found actors who are completely inappropriate for roles in which they're dubbing. I think they found actors here who sound like they should be in the roles, or could be in the roles at least. It's really hard to do that sound test. It's actually sort of racially offensive to do that, but it's also just important to talk about it because representation does need to happen. And when you just have to sort of trust that companies are doing it and put that out there to the world and say, you know, please, question mark, I don't trust this world anymore, but please try to bring some level of authenticity to the project of which you're doing, and allow the dubbing slash audio description team to be representational of the stuff that it's from doing. So, but if you want to check out like Water for Chocolate, I think you could do worse. I don't know how long I'm going to check this out. There are a lot of series on. I kind of feel the same way about this that I did with like Les Maisons and Midnight Family, but the problem with those were they're Apple Plus shows, and they dropped with 2 episodes, and I was able to give them both 2 episodes. So I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility for me to say that I'll come back for at least one more, which is more than I gave City of God. So with City of God, I was immediately like, this doesn't need to be here. But with this, I kind of think it's an interesting adaptation, and I'm willing to see where it goes. And if it heads in the right direction and lends to be interesting to where I keep watching it, like some of the other international content, like Women in Blue, or the Last Night in Tremor Bay, or something like that, sure, then I'll watch it. But there's a lot of TV, and I'm having to make choices in order, because there's always a new show right around the corner. So I don't know the longevity of this. It doesn't scream immediately at me, you will be watching this show forever. It will become your favorite program. So, but that's it. Anyway, I'm gonna give Like Water for Chocolate. I'm gonna give it a B. I kind of like the story. I like the cast. Like I said, it didn't immediately slap me in the face with like a pilot that was like, you are gonna want to watch this show. Some pilots are just really fucking great. It's just when you get a really great pilot, there's really nothing like it, because it brings out all the hope and the joy in the world that what you're about to see is amazing. A lot of shows have petered out after great pilots, so it doesn't necessarily indicate a longevity. But if you can get like the right premise, the right cast, the right timing, the right tempo, which is why sometimes really well-known directors are brought in to do pilots instead of just TV directors. Like they'll go out of their way to hire a film director to come in and do a pilot, is because they know. It used to be more of a thing. Now with streaming services, everything just gets series orders and they don't create pilots. So they just get an order and they just make the whole 8, 10, 12, 13, however many episodes, 6, 5, whatever episode count they're given, they just make them. And so the art of the pilot is gone, and you get pilots that don't actually answer that question in the first episode of, do you want to come back for more? It's like, I don't know. That wasn't that interesting, or that was okay. Pilots used to play like gangbusters, or at least try to. Now, they're not competing in pilot season. They're not having to submit themselves for approval. Now it's all about just what looks good on paper. And I guess the HBO Latino, which is trying to reach out and tap into an audience, does look good to them on paper. But maybe it is. I already feel better about it in City of God. The fight rages on. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.